Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. Jimmy Cook coming to you live from court number 4. NYBL Finals, Toronto in gold. Team Impact in orange. Always live, always real. As pool play continues. Drive there by DeAndre Ormsby for Toronto. He's fouled and has an opportunity to draw first blood in this ball game at the charity stripe. Saw Toronto earlier today, victorious 76-53. They've still been playing around on other courts as well. As here at Lake Point Sports Complex, truly a beautiful venue. I mean, obviously it looks like a setup that you would have for any multi-purpose facility where large events are going to be held. Both free throws made by Ormsby, but on top of that, it's a well-run building from top to bottom, and we've been through here a number of times. That shot's made by Ahmad Gatlin for the first point of the day for Team Impact. Left side triple in the air, triple through the bottom of the net. Confidence there by Quentin Martin. But anyway, Lake Point full of as many as 12 courts here in this facility, and NYBL Finals action happening all over the place. Straight on, triple again. Martin is feeling it out of the gate. Quentin Martin, 2 triples in a row. And the lead is 3-8-5. Inside action by Team Impact. And a travel. Shot was made by Gatlin, but they'll wave it off. Talon Nichols brings it up the floor. Again, still in pool play action here at the NYBL Finals. Later this afternoon into this evening and tomorrow is when elimination rounds continue. As a swing of the arm there by Gatlin, he caught Hugger Noel in the face. Head to the line for 2 free ones. But again, as we mentioned, just pool play right now. Always live, working with NYBL for these broadcasts, and the NYBL Finals spanning grades 6th through 9th. So multiple brackets ongoing there. And across all these courts, teams simply vying for seeding once we get to the elimination rounds later today. Free throws made there by Hugger Noel. Let's see if Team Impact has an answer. Gatlin turns it over. Up the floor, Nichols goes behind his back and then goes high off the window and in. Nichols' first points of the game, and it's 11-5. Jesse goes to Rancher. Now Jones at a timeout taken by Team Impact Black. They unsatisfied so far. We'll take one as well. 13:28 to go in this first half. It's Toronto Nustep Ballers 11. Team Impact 5. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. 13:25 left to go in this first half. Team Impact out of the timeout. Spinning down the lane was Carson Jesse, but he misfired, and now it's a run out for Toronto. Up the way, Martin too strong. Last touch, they'll say, by Team Impact. Stay on this end. Toronto's got to get it in. They do bounce it into Hugger Noel. Baseline carpet ride there for Ormsby. And he gets that one to go. Answer on the other end. Tough shot by Jordan Rancher. The 2023 guard gets that to fall. Brings Team Impact back within 6. Martin down the lane. Can't get a friendly roll, but he'll head to the line for 2. First free throw off the mark for Martin. One more upcoming for him. Splits the pair. Lead is 7. Jesse. Feeds inside. Holloway, extra pass. Little pump fake and hesitation, and score by Ahmad Gatlin. He's got 4. They're back within 5, 14-9. Sylvester kicks right side. Triple by Martin off the mark. Tracked down and taken by Rancher. Up ahead to Holloway. Holloway leaves it. Jones, triple, no. Loose ball corralled there by Martin. Finds a man in the corner. Right side triple. No good for Ormsby, and it's back in the hands of Martin. Back to Ormsby. Puts his head down this time. A little Euro, and he traveled. Jesse receives it top of the perimeter. Holloway now left wing. Triple is good. Knocked it in. Rashad Holliday's first triple of the ball game. And just like that, Team Impact back within 2. Now Holloway with the steal. Rashad feeds, forced it, and it's a turnover. Here comes Nichols. He'll leave it inside. Layup is true by Darius Sylvester. Such patience on the fast break by Toronto. Holloway now leaves for Jesse. He'll tee up a long-range triple and put it in. Nothing but the bottom of the net by Carson Jesse. Back within 1. Nichols, left side, rises, fires, off the mark, hit the top of the backboard, out of bounds. To Team Impact. Team Impact out of Tennessee. Jesse controls. Jones, now Sander. Sander inside to Gatlin. Hesitates, got some separation for Sander. Now Jones. Jones back to Sander. Matched up against Sylvester. He's in some trouble. Somehow falls to Jones, and he gets stripped on the way up. Taken by Martin. Martin pushed ahead, layup up, layup off the mark. Rebound sealed by Sander. Jesse, far right side, thinking about a triple. Matched up with Hugger Noel. Puts his head down, spins in the lane, and kicks it out. Falls right over to Rancher, who knocks down the triple. It's a 3-fest. And Team Impact takes the lead. Right side to answer. Bang, bang, says Quentin Martin. The lead back to Toronto. Sander working point guard duties. Give to Gatlin. Gatlin looking for some help. Back to Sander. He'll try a 3. Why not? That one off the mark. Rebound tracked down and taken by Gale. Jesse lost the handle. They'll say his last touch by Nichols. Stay on this end. Henry Wojnicki checks into the game. We talked to him before his first game today, number 41. Asked him why he wore 41. He looked at one of our broadcast partners in Bo Estes, shrugged his shoulders and said, "'Cause Dirk. Why not? Makes sense." We knew it beforehand, but just had to get confirmation. Jordan Rancher hits that triple while not up at 21. Trying to break the tie right side. That one off the mark by Gale. Here comes Jesse for Team Impact. Gives to Sander. Sander hesitates, feeds Jones. Left wing triple. Too strong. And the rebound by Liam Idolor. He was all over the place for Toronto in their win earlier today. Staying with his shot was Gale. Gets that one to fall. Jesse down the lane. Layup is wild. Staying with it, though, was Gatlin. He can't get it to go. Out of bounds last off of Toronto. Sub at the table. Afan Razak checks back in, and Preston Gale takes a seat. Interesting move here by Toronto. I don't know if it's from fatigue or what the case may be, but a lot of the starters that we saw in the first game actually coming off the bench here to get a little extra rest for them, which could be an uh-oh moment for Team Impact, depending on how they play this. It's a turnover right there. Rafak has Idler. Idler has Jesse behind him, lays it up there, and he's fouled. Heads to the line for two. Idler. 2 shots upcoming. He sets, he fires. Got it. He'll have one more. Sub at the table, Marcus Mallory checks into the game, and they give LaShawn Holiday a little bit of a rest. Idler off on that one. The rebound sealed there by Zeus Sander. Sander. Now Jesse. They feed in the middle of the zone, and it leads to a turnover. Taken away by Gale. Up the floor, Martin puts his head down, now leaves. Wojnicki on the end line. Out of bounds. Back to Team Impact. So Toronto holds a 3-point lead, but Team Impact holds the basketball. Zeus Sander controls in between the circles, guarded by Idolor. And a travel leads to a Toronto turnover. As we welcome my partner in crime for today's festivities, NBA TV's Bo Estes. Bo, we've seen this team before, have we not? You can not miss those jerseys anywhere.
They're your favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Cook special. By the way, again, just for the record, close game. I walked back in with you, Jimmy, running the show. Very well done.
Hey, do what I can. Not nearly as much work as our folks behind the scenes, but hey, you know, we do what we can.
Don't say that too loudly. So here's the thing that we learned about this Toronto squad early on is that they can throw waves at you and they can throw size at you. They are bigger again this game, but the size differential doesn't look that drastic.
Here's the interesting nugget for you. To start this game, most of the star players that we saw in game number 1 for Toronto were on the bench.
Interesting.
So a little extra rest perhaps with these marathon events. My only complaint, offensive foul is the call as Preston Gale drives with a full head of steam right at Devin Jones, and he takes the charge. My only complaint with the jerseys, by the way, and I don't know if it's disorganization, if it's budgetary, I don't know. That's above my grade, and I don't really care. I know you got to do what you got to do. The tape kind of ruins it for me.
The tape.
Remember, we have the numbers that are duplicates, so we got to make do with what we have.
Yes, that tape,
that tape. No, the branding, though, the shorts I like. Really, it's just the shorts. I don't know that I wear the jersey.
You want a pair of those shorts?
Sure, I'd wear them.
Yeah, no, you want a picture? Go ahead. Embrace that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you talk about them playing different players than we saw earlier on that were their star
Now that you're
players.
here, we're starting to see more of them, but they've mixed them in
They
slowly.
knew I was coming.
They did. They heard. They heard.
But, yeah, no, I think it's interesting,
Mallory, a moonball triple,
that's
knocks
his
it down.
second shot that looks like it's going to bring rain out here, and it goes down, so it's effective, and we got a tie game. But, like the top European soccer teams, they have what's called squad rotations. They play so many games.
Idler, 3. No.
This is basically squad rotation.
But answering there was Afan Razak.
My man. Go
proud of
straight
him
up.
last game.
Go
Yep.
straight up. I absolutely love it. Do what you can be good at.
All the way to the rim. Wild shot that time by Ahmad Gatlin. Here comes the Ballers. Idler. Circus shot. No. Wojnicki could not secure the loose ball, but they'll say last touch by Team Impact, and it'll stay on this end. Idler will be the trigger man. No, but you're exactly right, Bo. It's a good way to put it. I mean, I guess maybe you'd roll with line shifts with hockey. Maybe. I mean, I think soccer's still the better comparison. But, yeah, there's not a lot like that where you're going to see it slowly trickled in.
Yeah, hockey, it's out of necessity because the guys are just gassed
Right.
out there on the court, and they couldn't possibly go the whole way. Soccer, it's the amount of games that they're playing and the mileage they're running in an individual game. So you want to have 2 strikers, 2
Right.
midfielders, that sort of thing. Nice pass there.
Good feed inside. They skip it again. Mallory, he'll moon it again. That one off the mark.
Ooh. It's going to be a long rebound if he misses.
Jones in a double team, almost lost the handle. It's back down to Sander. You're right. It's going to be interesting when it kicks off the back iron. Who's first for that one? Rebound that time by Razak. I'd make an argument he'd probably be one of the people first to that.
No, he's got sort of quick with his hands. I'd like to see him a little better with the outlet pass.
Here's Wojnicki to the rim. No. Razak tried to get the rebound, but could not get it, and it's scooped up instead by Sander. Jesse over there now. Over to Jones. Jones, wild shot, no good. Rebound Razak. Here comes Toronto. So trying to feel out what Team Impact throws them this defensive possession. Teardrop floater up. Why
Beautiful
not?
shot.
Kalen Nichols pushes the lead to 4, largest of the game for Toronto. There's a steal. Starting to pile up. Nichols, a little bit of contact. He'll go to the line for 2.
He tried that move I was discussing earlier where you get in front on the fast break and seal. He just had another defender circling around behind him, but it gets him to the free throw line. And Toronto, again, with that 4-point lead, that working margin, still early in this game.
Got to hit the free throws, though, as the first one's off the mark by Kalen Nichols. Otherwise, it's all for naught. He'll have one more. Again, not in elimination play yet, still in standard pool play. Shot misfired, but the rebound is secured by Sylvester. He gets to Nichols. He'll rise from the elbow. Too much. Board last touched by Toronto. It'll go to Team Impact. Here comes Team Impact. Loose ball foul, they'll say, on Idler.
He's a guy we saw in the last game that really made an impact quickly. I mentioned that he scored 5 points in his first 2 minutes on the court. But it's not just the scoring, it's the energy as he heads off now. When he's out there, he's 100% the whole time. And as a defense, you have to be aware he's sneaking in on the offensive rebound, steals, anything. He's terrific.
No, you can't lose him for a second. You're exactly right. Stays on this end. Tough dribble by Rancher. Rebound Toronto. Sylvester up ahead. Bucket is good by Quentin Martin. He's got 7 unofficially so far. Rancher, the baseline pass on the bounce to Jesse. Another steal. Here comes Hugger Noel. He'll give and go, and he slammed it down with one hand. Magic carpet ride for Hugger Noel.
Steal, the handles, and the finish. He had all the skills on display right there.
Very impressive.
Oh, boy.
Almost out of nowhere, like lightning in a bottle on the dunk.
Well, what I was going to say is, you know, you drive in there and it's 6'6" and 6'5" against Toronto you're going against, and you see them clear a board there. But then it turned into transition the other way with those big guys. So it's not waves just with size. It's waves with size and talent.
Hugger Noel misfires on that jump shot. Timeout by Team Impact. We'll take one as well. 1:27 left to go in this one. It's Toronto 32, Team Impact 24. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live. Back inside Lake Point Sports Complex, 1:20 to go in this first half. Team Impact trailing by 8 with the basketball. It's been all Toronto Nustep ballers throughout to this point, but a triple again that time by Marcus Mallory, his second of the game, the high arc on it.
It works for him. You know, he's a smaller player, so he needs to get it up.
There's Hugger Noel again, that time almost lost it. It's like a high chip almost.
Hugger Noel showing off some soccer skills, a little dribbling there as well.
Left side three, no good. Perhaps a multi-sport athlete, we don't know.
Well, you know, as a big guy, that's how Hakeem Olajuwon developed his footwork. So if it works, use it.
Learn something new every day. I did not know that.
There you go.
Jones, left side. Jesse almost lost the handle, heavily pressured in this trap, and it does lead to a turnover.
That's the thing with that relentless pressure. You may not get the turnover on the first pass or the second pass, but eventually it just wears a team down. And again, Toronto with the size, with the athletic ability, they're a tough team to stop.
And not a lot of help coming, though, from Team Impact. Like, credit to Toronto. They've been suffocating on defense, but Team Impact needs to communicate a little bit more and make some patient adjustments in the second half.
I mean, they're fine.
Oh, yeah, I know they're fine.
They're fine, but you know, you can see it starting to fray just a little bit.
Some moisture on the ball. Team Impact wiping it off a little bit. And we'll roll final 15 seconds of the half. Down by 5. They give it to Jones. Jones bounce in the corner, extra pass. Mallory thought about it. Jesse thought about it with 4. Now it's going to be Sander with 2. Sander to Jesse. They got to shoot. Up for Jones for 3. He got it. How about that? Why not use the whole clock? And Devin Jones books it in to make it a 2-point game at half. Toronto 42. Team Impact, Toronto 32. Team Impact 30. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. Start of the second half underway. Team Impact with the basketball down by 2. As the ball goes out of bounds to start this second half. Still retained by Team Impact. Jones, who had that big-time triple to end the first half and bring Team Impact within a possession. Jesse, right side, leaves it for Gatlin, and it's off glass and in.
That play is what the words drive and dish were invented for. Beautiful little handoff inside, created an easy opportunity for his teammate.
Not a drive and kick that time, just a little handoff.
Just a dish, yeah.
A little scoop and score. Martin, right side, now gives over to Nichols at the top of the perimeter. Nichols tried to force it, good read that time on the defensive end by Holloway, but they turn it right back. Nichols rises, fires at the foul line. It's good.
I tell you what, Gatlin came out and played some good defense, so Nichols had to adjust and still able to hit that shot.
Anytime you can make an adjustment like that, I mean, especially with that level.
Sure.
You've got the scout chart. You're just another little bullet point.
Look at this. They're running a little weave out top.
Why not?
Bring it back.
Gatlin works, throws it up there. Air ball, rebound tracked down, taken by Jesse in the corner, a triple, no good. And chasing down the board there is Nichols. Got a 1-on-2. Nichols blows right by his defender, and I'll call a foul. I don't know about that.
Wow.
Far side official said contact.
That was pretty good defense if you're asking me.
It was like from our opposite angle that Devin Jones was clean all ball, but
you know, these refs are going all day long. You're not going to bat 1,000. Nobody in the world, not an NBA ref, not an NCAA ref, nobody's batting 1,000 out here.
Some refs that do one game at the next levels don't bat 1,000, so it's fine. No last 2-minute reports here, though.
No L2Ms?
Nope. Travel called.
He got that one right.
He did. Last 2-minute reports always fascinate me.
It's interesting that the NBA is. I love that they disclose that information.
And I don't like that some people don't like. There's a contingent of fans that don't like that.
Like they don't want to know. I don't understand that. The NBA is being forthright about things. I really appreciate it. You know, it's going to invite controversy, but that's fine.
Triple in the corner by DeAndre Ormsby. He'd been quiet for most of that first half, but now he's on the board at the 3, and they're up by 6.
Yeah, they're starting. This is a critical moment for Impact because Toronto's starting to run away with
Ormsby
this.
again, a little 5-0 run for himself.
Is this a time to take a timeout? They're now up by 8.
Good eye. Oh, excuse me. No, it won't be a timeout. It'll be another turnover, this time by Team Impact. So probably they score here. I would think so.
I think the last one was the moment, but yeah, sure. Get it in.
Sylvester now to Nichols. Feed in the middle of the zone. Sylvester goes baseline, sent back by Gatlin. Return to sender. Up the floor. Jesse hesitates. Still just an 8-point game with under 13 to go in this ball game. Pool play action at the NYBL Finals. Jesse corner 3. That one no. Board might have been kicked. They let him play on. Jump ball tie up. Arrow goes to Toronto. That might have been one of the most blatant kicked balls I've ever seen.
No, it was kicked well. I mean, it was a nice strike on his part.
Like, if somebody would have headed that in, you would have been like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I would have busted out my FIFA commentary.
Oh, it's a genuine chance. Yeah, we've been all about it. Right side triple is through by Ormsby. The lead's 11. Jesse trying to answer. That might have been off his knee. No, they'll say instead last touch by Nichols.
So there is a school of thought that you let kids play through this sort of moment. And, you know, giving him the benefit of the doubt, perhaps that's it. But Toronto's really starting to run away with this thing.
Layup up and in.
We're up to 13 now, Jimmy. This was tied. I think it's a 13-0 run. I think it was tied at 32 apiece, and now it's a 13-0 run.
It was a 2-point deficit because they were down 5 before the triple at half. And he hit the triple and they cut it to 2. And then they hit the layup right out of the gate and tied it. But since that time, it's been all
Sure.
Toronto.
They're going to bring on some substitutions.
And to your point, I mean, you're right, but that's the two schools of thoughts here. There's some coaches that want the timeout to regroup. I always like that, especially against a high-octane team, though they may not know that Toronto's a high-octane team. Could be the first time they've faced them. Some coaches, exactly, you'd think by now they would. But some coaches, they want it to be a learning experience. They want to let it play on. I think at this level, you can get away a little bit more with letting it play on as a skip to Mylou, finger roll off the glass and in by Ormsby like a gentleman. He pushes this thing to 15. I think there's a point where you have to cut it back, call the timeout,
to renew
and teach.
Focus.
Refocus and teach.
Focus. Yeah, because at this point the game is getting away from them in a hurry. And so I don't know, there's coaches that will early in a basketball season will not call a timeout, let their team work through it. And then when the game matters, if it's a playoff, if it's an NCAA tournament, they'll call those timeouts just to reset. But, you're at the point now where you're down 15. I don't know what you're waiting for, honestly.
While we're here, as Gatlin's about to shoot some free throws, where are you on – you're down 1, 12 seconds left when you cross the timeline. Are you calling a timeout or are you letting them play?
I think it's situational.
Not here. Let's say college or the NBA.
No, that's fine. I'm saying I think it's situational. I think if you have a break, if you have numbers, if you have a matchup you like, then that's fine to go ahead. I prefer a timeout. I feel like we have plays, and as a coach, I want to have a couple of plays that I think are worth a bucket.
Gatlin, the toilet bowl rollout.
Yeah. But I'm of the school of thought that I would probably call a timeout, but I understand situationally where you don't.
Travel called against Toronto. But the lead is 15 as they've been all gas, no brakes to this point in time.
Impact really just need a bucket here. They need to get some momentum. Nice screen.
Sander in between the circles. Now Jesse, he'll rise and fire. That one short. Lead at 15. Try to add to it. Hugger Noel, not that time. Here comes Jones. He turns it over.
Boy, I tell you what, that was read by Nichols.
Yep. Heady play for him. Tries to reward himself, and he does. Gets it over the defender and in.
That's twice Gatlin's closed out wonderfully on him, and he just adjusts his shot in midair, tosses the arc a little higher, and gets it done.
10-minute mark remaining in this one, and it's the largest lead of the ball game at 17, 49-32. Timeout taken on the court. We'll take one as well. Stay with us. You're watching NYBL Finals on Always Live. Out of the timeout, quickly, Team Impact misfires on that floater, and up the floor comes Ormsby, lays it up and in off glass with the finger roll. The lead now up to 19.
And it's a 19-0 run. That's the difference here. And to me, I think a part of this, honestly, is that Impact looks gassed. I think they're tired at this point and playing tired basketball, and that's understandable in a situation like that, Jimmy.
Rightfully so. I mean, as tough an opponent as Toronto is, as that lead now is ballooned to 21, largest of the ball game, with 9:20 to play. They look winded, they look tired, and kind of at this point, again, they're all young. There's room for development, but if we're calling it like we see it, Toronto clearly outplaying them at this point in time.
Yeah, and to me, there's still, even though this is a more closely matched, there's a talent gap that still exists
for sure
there. But nonetheless, this was 32 all. And this is a 21-0 run right now, and it's about to be added to that. So, you know, this is a challenge for this team.
So more free throws upcoming for Toronto. They misfire on both, and the lead sits at 21 still. Sander controls. He's to Gatlin. Now Jesse. He'll try a triple. Got it.
There you go. That ends the run. So the 21-0 run comes to a close with that three-pointer. Yep. Now, if they can just have a 21-0 run of their own,
let's see
they'll
if they
be
can
fine.
respond.
Yeah.
We'll see if they got one in them. Carson Jesse on that triple as Team Impact looking for a turnover. Instead, Toronto finds Nichols in the corner. Triple off the mark.
Sanders an interesting body type to be a point guard. You don't see, you know, sort of the bigger, thicker kids.
The Mallory
like
Moonball. There's a triple.
6-0 run.
Keeping score at home. Sylvester rises in and out of bounds back to Team Impact.
Okay. Hit another one.
There's a window here. Sander, he'll pull. Short. Rebound sealed and secured by Hugger Noel.
He's a really talented athlete to me.
Triple in the air. Off the mark. Board falls to Sylvester. It's been very impressive all night. It didn't jump out as much in game one, but it's really been on display here the second time we've seen them.
He's skilled and he understands the game.
Jesse might have able to keep control of the possession, I tell you what.
Control was not a lot of part of that drive. I mean, he just barely hung on and got it up and in. But, hey, 8-0 run. We joked about them coming back with one.
We did this 2 games ago, and the broadcaster Jenks almost bit the winning team in the bum. There's a triple on the left side. That one rolled out in by Darius Sylvester. Sander searching for some more answers. Down by 16, trailed by as many as 21. Jesse, he'll launch one. He's hit a couple. That one's in too. He's starting to feel it.
Ooh, down to 13.
Down to 13 with 6:10 to go.
Maybe this was all a part of Impact's strategy.
The possum game?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'll get on board with it. Why not?
Well, if something works here.
Sander thought about it to Jesse, instead wants to earn 2 the hard way and does. Timeout taken by Toronto. They're on the wrong end of a 10-0 run. 56-45 the score. They're within 11. Stay with us. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. Jimmy Cook alongside Bo Estes. 5:40 left to go in this one. As a turnover by Toronto out of that timeout. 10-0 run currently active by Team Impact. Trailed by as many as 21. They're now within 11.
Yeah, it's been a game of runs. And they're getting it to one of their hot hands. Jesse's been a big part of this comeback.
Eiler not having any of it, though.
Nah, he's a ball of energy out there. Smaller against Jesse. Jesse wants it in the post.
Gatlin to Sander. He thought about it. Now back to Gatlin. He'll pull from the elbow. Tough shot. Rebound is secured by Preston Gale. Up ahead, Ormsby. Back to Sylvester. Now Gale. 4:45 to go. Bounces in the corner. Now feeds in the block, and Wojnicki lost it off his leg. Good defense there by Team Impact.
He looked a little intense when he caught that pass in the post. I'm not sure if he knew what he was going to do, but he wanted to do something there.
We may never know.
We will not.
Gatlin turns and scores.
Now we're within 10. It's a 9-point game. Plenty of time left. 4:15 left in the game. How does Toronto stem this tide?
Well, they can take a play from the New Bands Elite. That's off his leg. Notice it'll stay on this end. They could take a play in from the Free Bands Elite playbook and hold the ball, but that seems like the opposite of Toronto's style. So I guess maybe you hold the ball for as long as you can and get a good shot out of it.
Are they calling a jump ball on that?
It's hard to tell from my vantage point. I have the ref in front of me.
Some stripes in front of you, right?
Some stripes for sure. Right side, triple, short. Bounces right to Jesse for Team Impact. They'll look to push. Holloway gives to Gatlin. Puts his head down. Oh, good defense there by Wojnicki. On the other end, Sylvester goes down the lane. Gets it to go off the back iron and in. That's really all it comes down to. If you're got the big lead, you can trade buckets. That's fine as long as you're still getting consistent offense. Jesse, another deep three. My goodness.
Wow.
He's had 3 big ones this half, and they're back within 8.
He's showing off a lot of range. Now, they got to pick up a little closer now because you're getting down towards the 3-minute mark, and 8 is substantial at that point.
Left side triple. Don't need that necessarily. It's an air ball. Back to Jesse. He's trapped. Now he'll push. Jesse sees some daylight. Fake the kick. Wild layup, no good. He had Rancher in the corner. Now Ormsby scores. And you got to play. It's tough to ask at this level, but you have to pretty much play perfect when you have a deep deficit like that.
It's back. Yeah, the 10-point margin makes it tough again.
Jesse gives to Sander. He forces it over to Holloway. Holloway's hit a triple already tonight. He'll put his head down. Ball away. Tough shot. Got it to go.
Boy, that was a difficult shot.
Shot Holloway with the fall away.
I'd like to see Impact picking up full court now. Try to speed Toronto up.
Lead is 8. Nice screen there by Wojnicki. He had a roll ready, but
that's an iron wall right there.
they kept him going. Sylvester holds in between the circles, and he's fouled. Just the 3rd team foul on Team Impact. Sylvester skips it over to Ormsby. Now Ormsby kicks, under 2 to go.
Smart.
Idolor almost lost it.
He wanted the layup, didn't he?
He did. Now Sylvester, heavily pressured. Still only an 8-point game. There's a foul.
So you wait that long to foul.
I still got 3 fouls to give until you're in the penalty.
Yeah, you just may as well be aggressive and go for everything now.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised we haven't seen more teams do that. Skip pass. There's
nice.
Another foul.
Smart. He was headed for a layup there.
Yep.
Well, we're getting up there now, Jimmy. In a hurry. Several fouls in a row. As Toronto trying to run this clock out. Impact still down 8 with $1:25 to go in the game.
Another foul committed. 1-1 opportunity. They're going to have about 82 seconds to work with, roughly. And it all comes down to these free throws, too. Ice, water at the line.
Man, that's been really impressive,
Preston
Jimmy. I mean, not just with this team, but
across the board,
like,
the games we've seen on this floor.
These kids are really, really good shooters.
Especially
really
in crunch time.
Man, there's just nothing to them to go up and knock down free throw after free throw. And you know they're exhausted out here.
Lead back to 10. Jesse, he'll stop, he'll pop. He put it in! My word, what an exhibition.
If there's an all-tournament team right now, he's got a shot. And if there's a three-point contest, he better be in it.
Some Kyle Korver-esque
My
right now.
word.
Good Lord. Lead down to 7 now. Again, you're still playing the foul game, but seen crazier things happen before, but got to get some misses at the foul line at this point. That was almost one, but ice water for Sylvester.
Again, yeah, just they go to the line, they knock him down. I think, I honestly think a side effect of this whole Steph Curry thing.
He misfired on that one.
There's
a layup.
Kids are more skilled as shooters now, I think.
Yep.
I just think they're better shooters. They work on it more.
Jones hesitates, and he's fouled. But plenty of fouls to give. So, man,
Sure.
I mean, is that the strategy you do for Toronto?
I mean, you're up 8 with 52 seconds. If it starts to get close, sure. But I think they can afford to play defense at this point.
They skip it to Jesse. It's Red. He catches. Pump fake. He'll put it up there. Oh, that was on the back iron.
It was on line.
Oh, man.
That was right at it. I mean, you have people in this gym, when he lets it go, are all holding their breath. He's putting on that kind of a show.
I tell you what. I thought that was down.
Oh, man.
Foul committed by Team Impact. It'll send Henry Wojnicki to the line. Missed the first.
Okay.
Should have been 1-1, right? Plus they haven't added it yet. The board said 9 fouls. Either way, pair is split. Lead is 9. Jesse, he had space there to pull. Instead, they'll feed to Gatlin. Little pump fake action. Layup, no. Second chance, yes.
Okay.
Lead is 7. Clock continues to run, and they foul. Thought they were going to foul immediately.
They're not getting the call. They're trying to whack him.
Precious time ticking away.
Okay, that's
and
less
that
than
might
20
do it
now. Yeah, they're pulling it out.
Sylvester laid it up and in.
Yeah. Well,
Teaching moment.
Maybe we get this.
Jesse.
Everybody in the
give it
gym
up.
stopping him.
Left side, 3 off the mark. Buzzer sounds. That will do it. Well, I'll tell you what. Tip the cap to Team Impact, and especially Carson Jesse. He had 4 threes over the course of that attempted rally. They will fall short to Toronto, 66-57. Fun one again.
No, I mean, you see a 21-0 run, and then you see a team come back from it. So there's two sides to that, and it takes a lot to come back from a 21-0 run. That's not easily done, Jimmy.
No, it's not. And like we said, you have to pretty much play perfect, especially at this age level. And at a certain point, you get in too deep in the hole. Even if you have a shooter like Carson Jesse, we're having all kinds of people come up and talk about it.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's inspired now, and they're going around and they're mimicking this shooting style. And this is that rare moment, Jimmy. This is LeBron being considered for a finals MVP on a losing team. So we have a shooting superstar with us now, believe it or not, a kid that just really put on a show, Carson Jesse. My gosh, where did you – here's what we want to know. And you give us 30 seconds on this. Where did you learn to shoot, and who taught you?
Nobody really taught me. I just sit in the backyard every day, put up 300, 400 shots every day.
What do you try to specialize? Is it free throws? Is it shooting from distance? What do you think?
A lot of it is your form. I try to practice with my form nonstop and just shoot threes and everything, really.
You obviously put on a show out there in the back of that second half. Where do you feel like, though, as a team, your guys' biggest area to improve on is, and then you individually, where you want to see your game grow?
As a team, I think we need to rebound better, box out, and as an individual, I would like to work on my driving game, especially. What's
this weekend been like for you guys? Not just the whole NYBL, but just this weekend specifically, getting a chance to compete against teams from all over.
Yeah, NYBL is a great experience. You compete locally, and you don't have a lot of competition, but you come out here and some of the best teams in the country, and it's just great to compete against everybody.
Carson, I think shooting is sort of, we're in a revolution. There's great shooters all over the place, and for young people like you to watch, who do you look to as a shooter and try to model your game after? Who do you like?
I say one of my favorite shooters of all time is Larry Bird.
Why is that? He's before your time, by the way.
Yeah, he's before my time, but he doesn't look athletic at all.
Yep.
He doesn't look like he can do anything, but he's one of the best shooters of all time. And
well, as an Indiana native myself, I'm not gonna complain with a Larry Bird reference. So yeah. That's Carson Jesse. Carson, truly a sensational performance out there. Best of luck to you the rest of the way, and to Tennessee Impact as well.
All right,
thank you so much for the time. That again was Carson Jesse. I was gonna mention something as well. I'm glad the production team decided to roll with that, to give a conversation to him, because even though Toronto was victorious, good to get a word from him and the type of display that he put on there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a magical show there for a moment. And look, he's not the only one. We've seen a lot of talented shooters out here, but you know, the other thing that's interesting to me is YouTube, what it means, because a young guy like that can look to Larry Bird and study Larry Bird, and you can go back generations and be inspired by players that aren't named Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
YouTube, film, and probably a little 2K there, getting a little Larry Bird in the Legends teams there for sure. Our final in that one, Toronto beats Team Impact 66-57. Stay with us. We'll have more after this from the NYBL Finals on Always Live.